Yeah, I reached, I spoke to him, yeah.
I know, well, he was like,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
he was there, and we heard
You tell me something's happening, I'm running with it.
that conversation.
9 o'clock. You ready? Okay. The House Oversight Committee on State and Local Public Assistance Programs will come to order. Would the clerk please read the letter from Chair DeBoyer?
Dated January 30th, 2025, Dear Mr. Clerk, I appoint the following members of the 103rd Legislature to the Oversight Subcommittees. State and Local Public Assistance Programs, Representatives Jason Wolford, Chair, William Bruck, Vice Chair, Steve Cara, Penelope Cerniglu, Minority Vice Chair, and Denise Metzer. Sincerely, Jay DeBoyer, State Representative, 63rd District.
Would the clerk please read the attendance?
Chair Wolford.
Here.
Representatives Bruck,
Present.
Cara,
Here.
Cerniglu. Here. Menser.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 5 members present. You do have a quorum.
Great, thank you. The House Oversight Committee on State and Local Public Assistance Programs will follow the uniform committee rules stated in Chapter 4 of the House Rules that were adopted on the House floor and any applicable rules adopted by the Oversight Committee. Representative Bruck, would you please move to adopt Thursday at 9 a.m. in room 326 of the House Office Building as a normal day, time, and location for the meeting of the House for Oversight Committee on State and Local Public Assistance Programs? Will the clerk please take the vote?
Chair Wolford.
Here. Yes.
Representatives Bruck,
Yay.
Cara,
Yes.
Cerniglu.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 5 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. The motion prevails.
Great, thank you. At this time, I would like to provide each member of the House Oversight Committee on State and Local Public Assistance Programs the opportunity to introduce themselves. Representative?
Good morning. I'm State Representative Denise Menser from the 61st District, which is all of Mount Clemens, most of Clinton Township, and about 7 precincts in Sterling Heights. I am a former Mount Clemens City Commissioner for 10 years. I had to resign from that post to accept my seat here at the state. And in reading your memo, I didn't really, the truth is I didn't really want to run for this office. I was perfectly content at home. I had a great job. And I was a senior buyer for the county of Macomb, and with all that federal money, I was buying all kinds of cool stuff. I bought drones and underwater torpedoes and all kinds of armory stuff for our sheriff department, and I also controlled the animal shelter, so I brought all kinds of stuff for animals. So I was pretty content, and I was minding my own business. I was on vacation in Florida. I have a timeshare down there, and I was on my balcony looking at the ocean with a cocktail and a book, waiting to go to dinner with some friends. And I got a call from the previous rep, Bill Sowerby, and he begged me to take that. And I'm like, are you crazy? You guys have to have a better candidate than me. And then I proceeded that night to get about 15 phone calls. And this was on a Friday. The deadline to file was Tuesday, and I was flying home on Monday, so I had literally hours to just go down and file. And I filed because there was no other candidate, and I was not gonna, give this seat some competition. As far as my background, I have a bachelor's of business admin. I got that after I was 40 years old, and I got that when I was to work 2 jobs, so I didn't have to come out with too many in student loans. I grew up poor in a trailer park, so I know what it's like to have to depend on some social assistance. I worked at Selfridge Air National Guard Base for a while. I will tell you, honestly, I lied about my age to get that job. I ended up working out there for several years until I actually was legal, and then I quit and moved to Great Falls, Montana, outside Maelstrom Air Force Base with a young airman who was, I met at Selfridge. I lived outside Great Falls for a couple of years, then moved to, Portland, outside of Portland, Oregon, a small place called Government Camp, spent a couple of years out there, ended up back home. What else do you want to know? Is that more than enough?
That was amazing, thank you. Representative Cerniglu?
Sure. I don't know how to follow that great story, but so I'm Penelope Sterniglu, represent the 75th House District. I live in East Lansing. My district includes part of East Lansing, Hazlitt, St. John's, Bath, Langsburg, so part of Clinton County, part of Shiawassee County. I'm also Williamstown Township, so a little bit of Ingham County. Let's see, I am originally from Southfield, went to the University of Michigan for undergraduate, then Michigan State Law School, which is why I'm still here today in East Lansing. And I have a 9-year-old daughter. I practiced public defense for a few years. I owned a business for I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. I, was a county commissioner for about 6.5 years. And I don't know, there's always so much you can tell, but this is my second term. Last year I chaired the elections committee. Really enjoyed doing that. And I look forward to being on this committee. So look forward to working with everyone here.
Thank you. Representative Bruck?
All right. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. I represent the 30th District, which is Monroe County, and a little bit of Lenawee County, and I call it the gateway into Michigan. All good and bad things come through our county along 75 and 23, so a lot of traffic, a lot of issues with a border community with Ohio, a lot of things that affect us differently, so it's a pretty unique district in that respect. Mostly rural, but we do have 2 very large population centers with the city of Monroe and then Bedford Township, pretty large, densely populated township. But we sit right along Toledo, so it's a really unique position to be in. As far as family, I have 5 acres, a little family farm. I have 9 children, so we raise ducks, chickens, and children. And we are down to 6, so I think I've used this line before, but we're kind of empty nesters now with only 6 at the house, and my 3 oldest boys live in Tennessee. So I want to do my best to make Michigan a place where maybe the rest of my kids will stay. We'll see. But I enjoy it. I enjoy being up here. I was elected just over 2 years ago, so this is start of my second term. Representing my communities. I'm a business owner, veteran, served a lot of tours, but really care about what happens in our state. And so as far as this committee with the family and local assistance programs, I've certainly seen a lot of different countries where there's no safety net whatsoever. And whether it's in Africa, the Middle East, or in Asia, where there's just no safety net. And here in the U.S. and in Michigan we have an incredible safety net, but that takes oversight too. So I think this is a great committee to be on, just to ensure that tax dollars and things are working the way they're supposed to. And I don't think anyone is opposed to, safety nets and providing things for our families in need and the kids and things of that nature to improve our society. But I think this will be a good committee just to look at things, and our goal is to protect our state and make it a better state for our own children and others as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Cara?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Looking forward to serving with all of you on this committee. I represent all of St. Joseph County and the eastern 2/3 of Cass County in southwest Michigan. I've lived in southwest Michigan my whole life, and I, in high school, told myself whatever I did with my life, I wanted to do something to where had I not done it, nobody else would have. I didn't know what that meant, but I liked math and science, so I started out in paper engineering. I was going to come up with a new, innovative, entrepreneurial way of making a more efficient process for engineering. In my 3rd semester, I envisioned where I was going to be in 10 years, and I felt red flags. I didn't feel passionate about what I was doing, and I decided to change my major into economics. Got the political science degree as well from Western. I got minors in mathematics and paper engineering along the way as well. And I was going to work at a think tank. I wanted to come up with innovative ideas, look at how government's working, understanding that I believe government should be extremely limited for the purpose of protecting the rights of the people. And then I found along the way that think tanks, they have good ideas and good thoughts, but the way to impact public policy is by running for office and getting involved from the inside. And my voting record is very different from the average voting record. My perspective of the proper role of government, I think, is very straightforward and clear, that it is to protect the rights of the people. I believe in the non-aggression principle. As long as you're not infringing on somebody else's rights, it's your pursuit of your happiness, not somebody else's. And I'm looking to fight to protect those rights as best as I can. And that sometimes looks unique, but I think government is far too big and intrusive in our lives. And I want to advocate for liberty everywhere that I can. Looking into how that aligns with public assistance programs will be quite the ride in the next 2 years. Looking forward to tackling the conversations. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative. Before I give my closing remarks, I'll just give a little background of myself as well. I too grew up in a not so very nice trailer park and understand coming from the School of Hard Knocks. I joined the United States Marine Corps, had the privilege of meeting two gentlemen that were different, men of men, Marines of Marines, but through them I learned the principles of living and giving. Met my wife in the United States Marine Corps. I tell people she checked into the wrong duty station as a Marine. I checked her out, and the rest was history. And then from the Marine Corps, had the ability to move into sales and marketing, where we imported and exported marble and granite from around the world for projects in the United States. And then from there to another company, and then 15 years ago, overseeing a global nonprofit where we've sent now $480 million of free books to the poor around the world, to 178 nations. And then a few years ago, seeing the overreach of our government, as a Marine, as a patriot, really wanted me to get involved in politics when we saw a government that was out of control, an economic crisis, and our women and children being taken advantage. So I'm glad to be here today. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. Speaker Hall and the rest of the House leadership have made it clear from day one that this term we are going to prioritize making government more efficient and more transparent and more accountable to the people of Michigan. It's no secret that the Oversight Committee is going to be a big part of achieving that goal. And this subcommittee, in particular, covers the most central parts of the state government that needs oversight through its public assistance programs. At the federal level, we've seen just how much government waste, fraud, and abuse has happened in the name of quote-unquote public assistance programs. Thanks to the very productive and very public work of the Department of Government Efficiency, American taxpayers are learning more every day how their money has been for years funneled through government-sponsored services for some benevolent cause or the other, when in truth, these taxpayer dollars are best going to some inefficiently run program that has no direct benefit to the average American citizen, or at worst, possibly intentionally being directed to some fraudulent end. I would like to also say that the goal of this committee will be to emulate the effort to the end of this kind of wasteful and nefarious conduct at the federal level, and to find out how much of this is happening out there right here in the state of Michigan. From the State House to the White House, we will be a shining beacon light on the government's appropriation of taxpayer dollars in the name of public assistance, which in Michigan's case amounts to nearly $30 billion, and has at times not even been directed towards citizens, but towards the exact opposite. In the Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, it says, all political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their equal benefit, security, and protection. And with that said, throughout this term, we intend to engage with the public and welcome them into this process. We encourage anyone with information that they feel that is worth sharing on how Michigan's public assistance programs are being used to reach out. Please reach out to us and the Oversight Committee, where we have a tip line. We will need any and all help to limit government's overreach and stop the misuse of the state funds. And I look forward to seeing those, along with my colleagues and I, who have been elected to faithfully represent and participating in this process. I'm confident that with the public's aid and the very qualified members on this panel, on this committee. I'm privileged to serve alongside this committee and these members, and we will accomplish incredible things together, and I promise you these goals will be met. Thank you. Unless there's any further business before the committee will stand adjourned.